Buddy, how are you?
Good.
Good to see you.
If you don't know, this is Mike Costa. He's my co-host here at the Tradepreneur Show.
Lucky to be his co-host.
Yeah, well, I think I'm the one that's lucky, but I appreciate it. And of course, if you don't know me, I'm Patrick Somers, and this is my show, the Tradepreneur Show, where we talk everything to trades and with the idea of promoting the opportunities in the trades. And today we're really talking about, as I like to call it, it's from the 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. It's the 7th habit, sharpening the saw, and the importance of sharpening the saw. And so if you haven't figured it out, what does sharpening the saw have to do with anything? Well, you know, there's that story of the 2 lumberjacks that go into the woods and cut all day, and every day for about an hour the one leaves, and he would always cut more wood than the guy who didn't stop. And that 1 hour he took was to sharpen that saw, right? To sharpen that axe. And so I think the first thing to discuss is you know, explaining it on the personal level, because a lot of times, like, we're talking about certifications and getting additional training and things like that, but you know, sharpening the saw goes beyond that. You know, taking a vacation is sharpening the saw, right? Yeah. It's that mental break we need. And I had been at the General for, I bet you 4 years, maybe 5 before I took a vacation, because I'm just of that old school mindset. Like, I don't need a vacation. Keep work. Yeah. And I finally, my wife and I went on a cruise, and it was a 7-night cruise. I was scared to death. I'm like, not for being on a boat,
sure,
but what am I gonna do?
Oh, okay.
What am I gonna do for, like, because like you could get at the time you could get internet on a ship, but it was really expensive. I'm like, what am I gonna do for 7 days, 7 nights at sea? Stopping on islands, and not having communication with the General, and it took probably a good 48 hours before I finally just kind of let go.
Okay.
And what I got to tell you is that was a sharpening of the saw for me. I came back recharged, reinvigorated, rested, and for the most part, I try and take a vacation every year. Yeah. Sometimes my vacations are work vacations, but that is sharpening the saw as well, right? And recharging, rejuvenating. But let's talk right now just specifically about certifications, right? Every industry has them to some extent, I'm sure. In the trades, there's a lot of different certifications. I have friends of ours. They have an air conditioning and plumbing company in Texas. Their son, phenomenal golfer, ended up going to college on the golf team and get a degree in golf or something. And what happened was COVID hit. Well, guess what they cut? The golf program.
Of course.
Right?
Yeah.
So without the golf, he's like, I don't really want to be at college.
Yeah.
So he dropped out of college. And he went about an hour and a half down the road from where we are in Ontario to a welding school. Oh. And so when he finishes the welding school, it's about a year-long program, there were, I think, 3 or 4 different certifications he could get. Most of the students got one certification at that time. They figured they'd get the rest later. He got all of them. Again, I can't remember if it's 3 or 4, but he tested for all of them, got all of them.
Which I would assume opened you up to just so many more types of welding
He was
jobs.
One of the first guys hired.
Okay.
Right?
All right. Yeah.
Because they now had a welder that was certified in all these different types of welding.
Okay.
So there's a case right there where somebody out of the gate, you know, did what had to be done, and then he went and worked for a company, got some experience. Wasn't the job he wanted. He wanted to work on, I think, race cars and stuff like that, but it got him experience. But it was so much easier for him to get the other jobs and end up where he wanted, because now he had the certifications and he had the experience.
Amazing.
So, you know, an area where I think there's a lot of certifications, and I know this because my wife is nursing.
Yeah.
You know, healthcare, and you know, she has she's an RN and a public health nurse as well. And now she's working on becoming a nurse practitioner. So with each of those certifications, the world opens up to her more and more. And that's true in the trades, right? So my daughter, I think I've shared, she went and got her certification as an esthetician. Well, she's gone back to that school several times to continue to get additional certifications in different procedures and things like that. So she continues to, one, become more valuable to her current employer and more attractive to other employers, and she can do more. She can offer more services. She can make more money.
Swiss Army knife.
Yeah. So if you're in the trades, there's certifications out there. I know for HVAC, the big one is NATE, right? North American Technical Institute, Excellence. And so if you get NATE certification, if I have a technician that comes in that has NATE certification looking for a job, very, very attractive, very, very valuable, because it shows that they have a certain level of understanding. The NATE exam is, it's one of those tests where there's 4 answers, right? 4 choices. 2 answers are wrong, 2 are right, but one's more right.
Oh,
right?
God.
The first time I was taking my NATE exam, there was they proctor it. There's a proctor, and there's a kid in the class, and he's like, hey, he raises, hey. And the guy's like, yes? Like, what are you talking? And he's like, I got the wrong test. He's like, what do you mean you got the wrong test? Well, there's a bunch of legal questions on here. He's like, no, that's the right test, right?
Yeah.
You're in the trades. There's a law that governs,
pretty much
business and stuff. So, but that was, I'll never forget that. I know that kid. He's got a special place in my heart. Really good kid. But regardless of what you do, and this is one of the things that frustrates me the most, is I see people come in and they work from this hour to this hour, and then they go home and hey, listen, play your video games, drink your beer, whatever you're going to do. Go to the beach, whatever you do when you're not working. But put some of that time outside of your employment hours to sharpen your saw.
Yeah.
Right? And some of that is going to the beach, right? Some of that is playing video games, right? Because that can be a great mental break for people. But sharpen the saw so when you go back to work tomorrow, you've learned a little something new. And one of the ways, and this is, certifications are great, but one of the ways to prepare for certifications, and one of the ways to learn, is YouTube. It's amazing. If you just pick a curriculum, like a topic, and just watch whatever you can on that, what you can learn.
Completely along the lines of what you just talked about. I bought a shed at Costco, 8x10 storage shed, and it came with a manual, but a lot of the times it's like you don't know the angle, or I went to YouTube and I watched a 25-minute video, and I repeated the one area that I was stuck on like 4 times, and then the light bulb went off, and I went, that was the mistake I was making. It is amazing what YouTube has become for. Oh, and I can't imagine what it is for people in the trades.
Well, and so we have a plumbing manager. He tells the guys, he says, like, listen, if you go out, whether you're experienced or new, but especially if you're newer, whatever you work on that particular day, go home at night and take some time and watch YouTube videos on it, right? Because you're going to get, there's so much talent out there. Like, you used to have to go to a college or a trade school to learn things.
Yeah.
Now you have the same level, sometimes better, teaching that in your living room or in your bedroom. And you just watch those videos. But the thing is, you have to watch them. You have to commit. And you have to want to get better outside of your 9-to-5 jobs.
Be disciplined with your time.
Correct.
Is it expensive? I mean, there are certifications and recertifications and things like that.
So
is there normally a fee involved? Like
there's
for
a fee.
Renewing a license.
There's a fee. So NATE certification. Here at the General, we haven't promoted it a whole lot because, we didn't get many takers. I mean, we did at one time, and then, but it still stands. We were giving 500 No, $250 if you got your NATE core, because you have to get your NATE core.
Okay.
That's part of you're halfway there. Then you have to get a specialty. So it could be in air conditioning, it could be in heat pumps, it could be in gas heating,
Okay.
you name it. Airflow, there's all these different certifications. And then we would give, I think it was $500 once you became fully NATE certified. And we would pay. We would pay for everything. And we bring in trainers, and we'd have training at night. After you get done, you come back and do this training. We paid for the exam. We brought a proctor on site to do this. So, I think most good companies are gonna pay.
Okay.
They're going to invest for their team members to better themselves. Happy New Year, Coachella Valley. This is Patrick Somers, President and CEO, General Air Conditioning and Plumbing. Listen, we all know that New Year's resolutions usually don't last, but with proper maintenance and service, your plumbing, electrical, and HVAC system will give you many years of trouble-free service. Give us a call, get it tuned up, get the inspections done. Let's make sure you're good to go all year long. Happy to take care of you. Happy New Year. Let's make this year, 2025, an amazing year. The challenges. Here's the challenge. We would train a couple days a week in the morning on NATE. We would bring in a trainer a couple days after work to train on NATE. We would provide things they almost prehistoric now, but CDs
Okay.
that guys could listen to.
Gotcha.
But with all of that, you still had to take time on your own, outside and away, to train, because it was a tricky exam. And you had to invest your own time as well. And so that was one of the challenges that we had and still have, because a lot of times guys get done work and they just want to go home.
Oh, no doubt.
Right? But the thing is, and here's the difference. Is this just like working at 7-Eleven or working at the convenience store somewhere else?
Yeah.
Is this like working at the movie theater, or is this a career? Right? Because if this is a career, this is about you, investing in you.
Right.
Right? And while you get with a good company, they're going to invest in you. You need to invest in you as well, because whatever the company invests in you, you take with you.
Well, yeah.
That's the amazing thing. If you get to a company that is going to get you NATE certified, that is going to get you I'm trying to think of the different certifications. There's a bunch in plumbing. We have send you to the different technical schools, like Navient has an amazing school. They're tankless water heaters. Whether they bring people on site, whether they send you to the training, and it could be soft skills training, getting certified in certain types of soft skills stuff. Sales, get your license. In the state of California, you have to have a license to sell in the home. Companies that invest in you, guess what? They're investing in you, and if you leave them, which you have every right to if you so choose, they hope you don't, right? But if you do, you take all that with you.
Exactly.
Right? And so now, if you're developing yourself at home as well, man, that's twofold. That's double, and you become that much more valuable. Look, I'm running a business.
Yeah.
Right. And I've been on the road for the last 3 weeks. Right. A couple days a week. I've been traveling, and it has all been sharpening the saw. It's all been developing relationships, learning about new products, learning about new services. This coming week, I'm taking the electricians, and I'm going to Utah because we're going to training. We're going to start offering year-round lighting. So, you put your Christmas lights up. Imagine if you put your Christmas lights up and they're LED, and 4th of July, they could be red, white, and blue. The Eagles play. I'm just saying the Eagles by chance.
Green and white.
Yeah. I mean, and you never have to take them down. You never have to put them up. And guess what? If it's summer and you're having company over, they're just white, beautiful white lights, I'm going up there to learn.
Yeah.
Right. I'm not going to be installing these, but I need to learn how do we market this? How do we sell it? The do's and don'ts. And so, but there's always, I was in Colorado a week ago, I think it was, all mindset training, how to just have the right mindset, how to get where I want to be, right, in my personal life and business. So it's like I'm investing in myself, I'm taking time, and it's for me personally, it's for the business. And man, it's the one thing that frustrates me. I probably should do a download on the website, the top 10 things that frustrate Patrick, right?
Do it.
Because this is one of them, and that's people that don't invest in themselves.
Well, I guess if you were to put a bow on it, you're going to get out of it what you put into it, right?
Yeah.
And if the company, the way I look at it, if you're thinking enough of your employees to pay for that certification, to go the extra mile, to bring all those people in, to make them smarter, make them better at their job, you as an owner are going to do more for that employee because you don't want to spend all that time and money, blood, sweat, and tears on them only to have them to walk out the door. That employee then has made themselves more valuable to you in the process.
Correct.
You know?
Well, it's like water treatment. We do water treatment. There's a couple water treatment companies. They all have this online training. All you have to do is go in and take the courses and learn, and they certify you.
Yeah.
Right. And it's if that's available to you, man, like nobody should have to tell you, hey, go on and get your training done.
Exactly.
Because it's there, and you become more knowledgeable, and the more knowledgeable you are, the more you can inform and educate homeowners, the more money you can make, the more problems you can solve, the more valuable you become to your employer. So, but again, a guy once said to me, this jiu-jitsu guy, he was like, listen, I was going to Palm Springs, and there were some other guys going, and one day I was the only guy that showed up, right? And the next day, the 3 other guys showed up, and the guy's like, his name was Steve Del Toro. He says, what happened yesterday? Well, then they started giving the excuse. He said, look, and he pointed up to the tram. He's like, listen, if Bruce Lee was alive and Bruce Lee was up there and he was going to train you every day, but all you had to do was get up there.
Yeah.
If you really wanted, you'd find a way to get up there every day.
Crawl up there if you had to.
And so I that's another analogy and moment that I'll never forget. It's like everybody has excuses, right? Everybody has a reason why. But it comes down to discipline. It comes down to what do you want? How bad do you want it? And a lot of it I think also comes down to how do you feel about yourself? There's some people like, if you're not investing in yourself, you don't value yourself. That's my take. Right?
Well, yeah, and like you said, if it's going to be your career, jump in with both boots. Jump into the deep end and go and do everything to make sure it's the best career possible, right?
Yeah.
Fulfilling in more ways than one.
Yeah, correct. I think that is it's super important. And again, and the other takeaway is make time for yourself as well. It's okay.
Yeah.
I was talking to a guy the other day, and he's like, Patrick, I have my vices, and it's okay that I spend time doing this. And he said, it's playing video games, right? And he's like, but it's my escape. And I'm like, hey, that's cool.
Yeah.
I'm like, but he's like, but what I don't do is stay up till 3 a.m. playing a video game. What I don't do is drink Mountain Dew nonstop playing a video game.
Constant rotation of pizza delivery people.
Yeah, I mean, he's like, I set a block of time,
right,
and I say for the next hour, I'm just going to play this game,
and there's discipline,
and I'm going to forget about everything else. And when that hour's over, I'm back to what I need to do.
Nothing wrong with it.
Yeah, and so, but the last thing I want to say is, there's really no excuse. Like when we were coming up, here's your choices: read a book, or order the cassette thing from Earl Nightingale, right? Remember, you had to put the cassette tape in, listen to it, then you had to rewind it, and then, if you wanted to hear a certain part, you had to find it.
Oh my God.
And let's hope it didn't come apart, and you had to get the pencil and put it back together.
Just read the book.
Now,
yeah,
there's books. There's books on tape, or audio, I should say. It's not tape anymore. There's YouTube. There is like Google. There's AI.
Yeah.
AI. I mean, I don't use Google anymore. I don't use search engines. I use AI. It's amazing.
There's no excuse for I couldn't find it.
Yeah.
No longer.
And now, like if you're watching or listening to something like the podcast, and
Right.
you have to step away,
Yep.
it picks up where you left off. So
yeah.
there's never been an easier time to just consume content
Yeah.
and make yourself better. And so, at the end of the day, listen, you guys, like God gave you a brain, God gave you a heart, God gave you a soul. If you're not in your passion, find your passion. But whatever it is, invest in yourself. Invest in yourself. And if you work for somebody that's investing in you, fantastic. If they're not investing in you, who cares? Don't be a victim. Invest in yourself, because you become more valuable to everybody out there. When I get somebody that comes in to interview, I want to know what book they last read or listened to, right? I want to know what they're doing. What have you done to better yourself? And so that matters, and it will have a direct correlation to your success, your income, and most importantly, your happiness and fulfillment. So with that said, thanks for tuning in to another episode of the Tradepreneur Show. Check us out online. We got a lot of content on there we're putting on there to download and help you be more successful. I hope you share the podcast with somebody. Please like, comment, and give me feedback. Good, bad, whatever. I'd love to hear from you and love suggestions for future episodes.